As a person with a disability, I'm a proud advocate for persons with special needs because I know how critical it is that support be provided to ensure every child can maximize his potential. Every dollar that is donated to this run is spent on ensuring children with special needs get an equal opportunity to an education and proper health care. To make a difference in the life of a child with special needs, make sure you sign up for the Digicel Virtual 5K for special needs this October. I am Christine Hendricks, head of the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities. I can for special needs, so can you.
Community-Based Rehabilitation Jamaica is an organization aimed at enhancing the quality of life of children and adolescents with disabilities. With funding from the 2019 Digicel 5K Run for Special Needs, we secure transportation services for our team to do home visits and conduct professional assessments and intervention clinics. Children with disabilities face multiple forms of discrimination which lead to their exclusion from society and school. That's why we continue to bring our services to those with special needs. My name is Sandra Long-White, Projects Manager at Community-Based Rehabilitation Jamaica. I can for special needs. Will you?
As a person with a disability, I'm a proud advocate for persons with special needs because I know how critical it is that support be provided to ensure every child can maximize his potential. Every dollar that is donated to this run is spent on ensuring children with special needs get an equal opportunity to an education and proper health care. To make a difference in the life of a child with special needs, make sure you sign up for the Digicel Virtual 5K for Special Needs this October. I am Christine Hendricks, head of the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities. I can for special needs, so can you.
Community-Based Rehabilitation Jamaica is an organization aimed at enhancing the quality of life of children and adolescents with disabilities. With funding from the 2019 Digicel 5K Run for Special Needs, we secured transportation services for our team to do home visits and conduct professional assessments and intervention clinics. Children with disabilities face multiple forms of discrimination which lead to their exclusion from society and school. That's why we continue to bring our services to those with special needs. My name is Sandra Long-White, Projects Manager at Community-Based Rehabilitation Jamaica. I can for special needs. Will you?
Fma runs for special needs.
Utech Fma runs for special needs.
Let me get myself ready for that digital 5K virtual run here.
Utech Fma runs for special needs.
Utech Fma runs for special needs. Utech Fma runs for special needs.
Good evening, everybody. Okay, it's officially 3:05 and this meeting is called to order. So I'm going to pray for us this evening, this afternoon. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, as we come humbly to your throne today, Lord God, we want to thank you for life, for health, for strength, Lord Jesus. I pray that each and every member will learn something today from today's meeting, Lord God. God, touch the speakers, and I pray that they'll be able to speak and bring across exactly what they want to bring across to the audience today. In your name I pray. Amen. Hope everybody was hearing me. Okay, so up next we're going to ask Tatiana to welcome us, to come with the welcome. Actually, Tatiana, is she here? Tatiana? Alright guys, I just want to take this time to remind you guys. I want to take this time to remind you guys that this is the final call for you guys to participate with Digicel for the virtual 5K. So please sign up if you haven't signed up already. Sign up now. But I just like to sign up right now. I have the link. Slide in my inbox. Hello, everybody, and sign up. All right, since Tatiana is still not here, unfortunately, is she? No. I will be giving the welcome, and I'm pretty sure you guys are tired of me giving the welcome, but welcome back, everybody. It's good to see you guys. If you're hearing me, and if it's good to see me, let me see which emoji must ask for. The fire emojis in the comment section. Nobody not happy to see me. All right. Okay. I see them coming in one. Welcome back to another club meeting, guys. We're super happy that you take this time out on a Thursday to come here and to be educated about different things. I see Tatiana here now, so I'm going to give her a chance to give the official welcome.
Okay. Ready? Hi guys. So my name is Tatiana, for those of you who don't know me, and I'm just here to thank you guys for tuning in to yet another week.
You're mute. We're not hearing you again. We
Can
were
you hear me
hearing
now?
you before, but we're not hearing you again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I want to welcome you guys too, and thank you for tuning in to yet another week of FMA. I know it's week 9, and everybody have a lot to do, but we are ever so grateful for you guys tuning in every week. Yes, week 9, and we have a lot to do, but you know we're ever so grateful for you guys for tuning in, and we just want to say thank you yet again for another week, and stay tuned for the last day for you guys to pay your money for the virtual 5K run. So if you sign up and you don't pay, you have until the end of the day. Please, guys, pay your money and sign up. Do it for charity. You know, this 1,500 is go a long way to make a smile on somebody's face. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Tatiana.
Okay.
Okay, it's my turn. All right, guys. So as you can see, if you saw our flyer, you see that we have 2 amazing persons with us today. But before we do that, today I'm going to first introduce Joyst to Youth Exchange, or is Miss Sharp. But just before she comes on, we're just going to play a short introductory video just to let you guys know who it is that we're dealing with. All right, thank you. So, Miss Hutchinson.
For the invite, everyone that's in, should I say, internet land. I'm not so up to date with all of this, but thank you guys very much for inviting me to this session, and I hope to share as much information with you as possible about the programs and what we do, and hopefully, some of your participants can participate. Now, I know 2020 has been a very, especially to my participants who signed up for other agencies to go on the program for 2020, but because it literally put that to a halt. Nonetheless, I'm happy to say that we're on for 2021. Lots of participants, you might have heard that the program was suspended, but our sponsors in the US, they had an high court, that basically told Donald Trump that, listen, what you did was not legal. And so with that, we are now open for business as well as the sponsors. And so we're recruiting for 2021. So just wanted to put that out there. Some of you who know who Joyst is, we have been, or we are the first organization in Jamaica, in the English-speaking Caribbean of this kind, to offer such a program. And of course, we have persons who work at the office have been on the program themselves. So we have over 30 years experience, and experience you learn through. You have the highs and you have the lows. So we do have a knowledge of what we're doing. We offer several programs that caters to different students. You have the summer work and travel, which is for full-time students. We have internship, that is for recent graduates, and it could be agriculture, hospitality, food and beverage, culinary. We have camp counselor. If somebody who is not at school, they're at school and they want to just chill out for 9 weeks, they can do that as well. You have the au pair for young ladies, that is 18 to 26 years of age, and they have to have some experience working with children, and they can spend up to a year or 2 years in the United States doing that. So these are all the programs that we offer at the moment, and as I said before, it's geared towards university and college students, youth, young adults. Yes, there are fees for all of these programs, and you can get that information by calling us in the office. You saw the demo tape a while ago. It has our contact information, but I'll also give it to you. So it is 968-7176 or 2124. No, just for FMA students, offering a $15 discount on the first 25 persons who register online, who also pay their pay the registration fee. So you get that. And with your permission, of course, we'll use a code. So if when they're filling out the form, they just write Utech Fma, and we will verify that information with you to see if they are indeed members of your club. And for everyone else, if you're not a member of FMA, we have what is called Bring a Friend Tuesday. So when you register, you bring a friend and you get $500 off your registration. So you technically would, depending on how many persons you bring, you can either get your registration for free or you get a little bit more. So that's in a nutshell what we're offering to our participants. And if you have any questions, please shoot them over. Happy to hear. Did they hear me?
Great stuff. What's the cost for this program for the work and travel for university?
Okay, summer work and travel, the program fee is $1,600. Registration is $6,500. The other programs, it varies. For camp, you asked for that one specific, so that is what it is. It does not include the airfare, the visa fees, traveling, and housing. But nearing the time, we'll give you that information.
Okay.
Cool. Any other questions?
We're asking our members, guys, if it is that you have any questions, please just put it in the comments so we can ask Miss Hutchinson.
And I know that most students are very fearful of the work and travel program, being that the corona. So what advice can you give us? Like, is it a sure thing that next year they will be able to go on the program?
All right. First of all, as it relates to the coronavirus, our government said it's a community spread, and we have heard from all the PAHO that it's going to be with us for a while. So I would say to participants, beef up your immune and take the necessary precaution as they tell you to. As it relates to guaranteeing the program for it to go on next year, I cannot use that term guarantee, but the mere fact that all our response actively, they're open and they're doing what they need to do for next year. As a matter of fact, it never stopped. The program was one travel this year, or a few persons travel this year. We have been actively working to ensure as much as possible what we can do to let the program continue to next year. And so with that being said, and the fact that they had an injunction to have the earlier than the December 30th suspension end date, is also a testament to what has been going on behind the scenes to ensure that the program continues. Employers are still online and on board, I should say, with having participants. Just today, somebody called from another state to say, listen, thank God I only got 16 participants, but they want to do more out of the number that they want. So employers are also very anxious for students to start. They will institute the necessary protocols that will expand safety as well. So participants will do that as well as the sponsors. Some sponsors have also added additional insurance coverage for interruption and cancellation outside of the regular insurance that comes as part of your program fee.
Okay, that's wonderful. And can you say, like, from now, can you say like the states that are more in demand of students right now? Because I understand that states like New York, they have the highest cases of corona, so I'm assuming most students would be fearful to go there. Plus, a lot of states that are within the tourism sector of the United States. I understand that this would be an issue for most students.
Well, all right. Let me just answer. There's a question: is the program fee quoted in US? Yes, it is quoted in US dollars. In answer to the question, to that, states that normally take the highest number of participants are what you call tourist states. So, for example, Texas, Maryland, Colorado, Massachusetts, Wisconsin in the Dells. Those areas are touristy areas. It still means that persons within the United States as well as out, and those are still the areas that are participants. So New York, we don't have a lot of places for New York, but again, whatever necessary precaution and protocols that needs to be in place to protect participants, that much I know, will happen. We had a few persons who traveled on the camp program. They left in June because they had their visas early, and they arrived at the camp. The first week or so, they were tested and they were asked to isolate. They did their job and they went out all over the place. They worked with children who were at the camp, and they said they were safe. Nothing. They were quite good. Can you guys hear me well?
No, you're kind of breaking up.
Okay. Can you allow me to switch to another device?
Sure.
Okay. We're gonna put. Yeah.
Hello, Alicia.
Hey. Okay, guys, we're just allowing her to switch her device so we can continue.
And remember to ask questions in the chat. I know.
Okay.
There she is.
You can hear me still. Better.
Wonderful.
Yes. Yes. So any more questions, you guys, just ask away and I'll answer honestly. And as always.
Okay.
All right. So I mentioned the other programs. Whilst I guess I wait for more questions where that is concerned. Okay, what are some of the states that you normally? All right. Some of the states include Texas, um, Wisconsin, Maryland, um, Colorado, Massachusetts, just to name a few. The areas of work that students get is in, you have lifeguard. So if persons can swim, even if you can't swim, you can learn to swim by the time you leave. That's one of the positions. You have being room attendant.
And everything is going
Pardon? Okay. So, room attendants, cashiers, working in the supermarket. So chef, those are some of the types of jobs that students get. The payment is minimum wage, but it's not less than what is paid to an American counterpart. And you get a minimum of 32 hours per week. Now, again, it obviously it will change this time around, I think, in terms of the number of hours you work. So if you used to, get for 32 hours, you might get a little bit more simply because, more opportunities can exist. You also are able to work a second job when you go to the States. We do not find that for you. You get that, you apply on your own, of course, with the approval of your sponsor. So you can't just get up and just go, work somewhere else. You will have to get approval from your sponsor. Another question, I think an important thing that you guys should know, you do share housing with other people from other parts of the world. You can share housing with your friends whilst you're here, or just someone who, if you prefer living with someone from Jamaica. But you do get to live and share space with other people. Being on the summer work and travel program is hard on many levels, and I'm going to tell you why. First, it's new. So some of you might be working and you're not accustomed to standing the whole day or for several hours of the day. Culturally, you'll be shocked because, the food will be different. Obviously, the people, their expectations are different. When you're in Jamaica, we have, I would say short fuse as well as some patience and understanding because it's our culture. When you get into the United States, it's very different. The expectation is, this needs to be done now, and it's a can-do attitude. Not me can't bother. And this Africa, we never used to do this in Jamaica. No, you have to have a very positive and can-do attitude when you go on the program. The other challenge is also the different cultures that you're mixing with. So let's say you have someone from Romania as your roommate. Let's say they bathe once per week or twice per week. You might look at that person and say, geez, I'm nasty. Nasty. Why hopes? No, but that's their culture. So you have to learn to be understanding. Eating like food. You have some cheese that, have like fungus in there, like literally green. You may see that and again think it is nasty, but that is just a part of the culture. And then they will also have to adjust to Jamaican culture. Jamaicans are loud. They can get loud, I should say. And so all of these things are just some of the things that you'd have to adjust to in ensuring that you have a great summer. Sorry, is the corona test still the swab test or has it changed? I cannot say. I think it's still a combination. I know you have the swab, you have, I think, a blood test. So I think there are various types.
Speaking of the corona test, will the students have to do a corona test before they travel?
Well, at this point, we have not had that request from our sponsor. But if it does becomes necessary, then we will advise you.
Okay, thank you. And the rates, here's a question. I didn't hear what she said about the 1,600. Does it include visa application fee?
No, the 1,600 is a program fee, and it includes the DS 2019 form. That is the form you use to go to the embassy to apply for your J1 visa. It includes the CVIS, which is a DS 2019. The CVIS is a monitoring, is a fee that you pay to the US government, and it also includes insurance. Now, if the sponsors require additional coverage, like the interruption one that I mentioned about, then they will also give us a different cost for that. But that's what that includes at the moment. What jobs are available in Massachusetts? It changes from host company to host company, but I do know some of them is serving positions. You work in the kitchen. You might also work in a hotel as, housekeeping. So those are some of the jobs that are available.
I'm seeing a question from a person, this Kadian. She says that I'll be 29 next month. Yeah, there it is. I registered, but I read somewhere that persons over there with conditions applied. What are the conditions or restrictions?
The condition is that as a 29-year-old in Europe and other countries, that's like a very big person, and they're not at school. So we'll just let the sponsor know. We have already explained to them that, culturally, we have late persons going to school late. And if you're able to work and live with an 18 or 19-year-old, then that's fine. So that's the condition, really. Whether or not you'll be able to adjust as a mature person in the environment with some 18 and 19-year-olds.
Another one person is asking, Ashland, do you have a deadline? Is there a deadline?
At this time, we don't have a deadline, but the special we have, Bring a Friend Tuesday. It's soon close off, but not right now. We're not closed as yet because we just opened. We're still registering, so we're not closed as yet. All right, so for the other programs, if you have any friends or young ladies who have left school, they're not doing anything, they can participate in the Au Pair program. You have to love children. If you work at least 200 hours working with kids, and that could be voluntary, your next door neighbor, you work at the church, however you acquire that 200 hours, you can register, and you must be able to drive. So upon registering, if you can't drive, you can always go and learn how to drive. As I said before, the Camp Counselor Program, that is for 9 weeks in the United States. And you work with kids. So it's not a program to make a lot of money. It's really like giving back. So you work with kids that are special needs, at risk, and you share your culture and your skills with them. So if you can play football, if you can do art and craft, you can play piano, dance, those are some of the skills that they're looking for. There's also internship, as I mentioned earlier, for agricultural, hospitality, some business. You can, sign up for those as well.
We have another question from Mrs. Williams. If someone already has a visa, will another type of visa be required to travel? Also, do we pay the first month's rent before we leave Jamaica?
All right. Thank you for the question. So if you have a visa with another type of visa, yes, you will still need a visa. The visa that you have if it doesn't allow you to work in the United States, you can't. So you have to apply for the J1 visa. As it relates to the first month's rent, it depends on which employer. We do not know in advance. But you have some that you have to pay the first month's rent before arrival, and then there are some that you have to pay it upon arrival. But whatever the placement is and whatever the conditions as it relates to your housing, that will be communicated to you, so you just follow that.
Sponsors provide housing?
Pardon? Yes, we do assist.
Do sponsors provide
The
housing?
sponsors provide assistance to housing, so they will have links in some of the jobs will come as participant arranged housing, and with that you will get the link or links, yes, with places that you can call and make the housing reservation. then there's some jobs that the sponsor provides, and you have they organize it for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Seeing two other questions. Firstly, do they offer internship in nursing?
Unfortunately, no, we do not offer internship in training. But I could say to you, if you could perhaps do the au pair program when you're graduating, and or after you've graduated. And I do know that you can do a course in the US, in anything that you want to do. So perhaps you could segue into do that program, go to the States, and who knows, get an opportunity whilst you're in the States to do that. What if you get injured on the job? All right, so the insurance that covers you, it covers that on that, as well as what you have. Let me start again. So you are insured whilst you're on the program if you have an emergency or any injury. If you're injured on the job, then the employer or the host company ought to sort you out on that. If you have any issue at all whilst you're in the United States, you will have to call your sponsor and let them know immediately that, okay, you've had an injury, but the employer ought to take responsibility for that. They have what is called workers' comp, and that should cover you whilst you're on the job. Hi, Tyreek. Tyreek went on the program. I think it's him. I sent the evidence of payment for the registration. However, I did not get an. Okay, did you send an email? If you send an email, you should have received notification that it was received in office. But if not, I will most definitely check on it for you. Or you could just send another email to say, okay, I'm waiting on a response. Mr. Williams, did you send it to Ms. Passard? All right, guys. So as I said before, just remember, for those persons who are members of FMA, you need to visit our website, register, or everybody who is listening right now, you need to register. The first 25 persons who registers, they need to have the section on the registration form. It says school. You need to write Utech Fma, and that will be your code, and that will give you your $15 off your program fee. Also, remember, bring a friend Tuesday, and you get $500 off from every person you register. So that's a nice way of earning some funds. Pardon? If coronavirus is covered, well,
In the insurance.
insurance, I believe it is, because during the summer we followed up with our sponsors and they did say it is covered. But as I said before, I know from one sponsor, they are putting in their documentation additional insurance that participants need to have, which is interruption insurance. So yes, it is covered though. Any other questions, guys? So just again, reminding everybody, we are open for registration and we're looking forward to hearing from you. If you have any questions, please follow us on our Instagram page, on our Facebook page, and ask questions. I mean, we're here to hear from you, and we are here to serve you as well. And it's a wonderful experience. I would really, really encourage everyone to participate on it. And I would say to Jamaicans as well, listen, we are survivors. We are resilient people. And we need to remember, back in the day when your grandmother used to give you some bush and some things to strengthen your immune system. So I think we need to go back to some of them things. Drink up your syrup to cleanse your body. Get your lemon and your garlic and your ginger. And you eat it, drink it every morning. Yeah. All right.
We have to make some bottles bring over for the work and
You
travel.
understand me? I am happy that you mentioned it. You need to make some and make sure you have enough to carry for to last you for a while. Can we borrow money?
And share with others.
Exactly. Let them know how kind and loving we are. Could we borrow money for the work and travel specifically? I mean, I would say if you can get donations from family and friends, get donations instead of borrowing, because borrowing comes with a lot of risk.
Miss Hutchinson.
Yes.
Honestly, I've heard some horror stories from work and from the whole work and travel thing. So my question is, for those who actually experience stuff like discrimination, how does the agency go about dealing with that or get the student out of that situation?
All right. First and foremost, our sponsors, the host companies that hire international students, they are, for the most part, I've not heard of that. But some of the employers, yes, they that happens. What I tell participants without a shadow of a doubt, and as soon as it happens, they must email their sponsor immediately and give them specific information. If they feel threatened at any time, let them know and let us know, because it's just not happening. And I also say to participants, if someone call you black, instead of reacting in a way that will create confrontation, answer them this way. So I know the last time I checked, I was black. Don't allow them, don't give them any upper hand in controlling your emotions. So yeah, I know I'm black and I'm beautiful. Can I help you? What's next? Let's move on along. It's an obvious statement. You understand? So deal with it like that. They don't know what to do. But then if you feel threatened in any way, then come out of the space and let your sponsor know that, listen, this is what happened. This person called me black, or this person used that word and they threatened to do this to me, and I felt very uncomfortable and unsafe. So I left. And then you can come back the next day. But you must make sure. As a matter of fact, if you feel that it's going to happen or you see signs, you let your sponsor know and you let us know. So listen, this environment, them treat the black people this way, and I've heard them talk to this person this way, and I really don't feel uncomfortable about it. And let them know.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Any more questions, guys?
Questions? Great question, guys. Just keep on coming. We're here to answer as much as possible. And whatever we don't know, we will let you know when the information becomes available. But we are open for registration, as I said. So you ladies, are you going to be coming? What's your name again? You do two pretty ladies right there that I'm looking at. Are you?
I'm Chanoy and that's
Alicia.
Okay, so will you guys be participating?
Yes, hopefully.
Hopefully. Relisha and I have to do the bring a friend Tuesday. Have to come and bring a friend Tuesday.
Yes, we're taking advantage of that Utech Fma discount code. Yes, we'll have it, definitely.
Wonderful.
On top of discount.
Okay, that's fantastic, guys. Any more questions, anyone in TV land?
Any more questions, guys?
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's it. I guess that's it.
Okay, well, thank you so much for having me. And as I said before, I mean, we're open. You can email us. You can visit us online as well. Register there. You get, follow up to say, okay, pay your registration. Follow us on Instagram and on Twitter. We're not on Twitter. Okay. Instagram, Facebook. I think that's it. I'm still trying to get used to social media.
Social media, right?
Yeah, my marketing person is trying to get me, but I'm an old fogey, so you have to work with me, okay, guys?
Oh, look, we have one more question we're searching soon.
No problem.
Kadian. Kadian. Oh, Kadian is asking, can the late fee be lenient due to corona restrictions?
We're not charging any late fees.
No late fee, guys. The discount is for the registration.
So, okay, the discount is for the registration or the program fee. So we have two discounts. Bring a friend Tuesdays, you get $500 off your registration fee for every person that you bring, every person. And then you have the first 25 persons who are members of FMA, they'll get $15 off their program fee. So if you bring 100 persons on Bring a Friend Tuesday, you get $500 off, the 100 persons. And hopefully you guys can share that with me.
Okay.
So guys, let's all go as a group for me so I can get all this out.
Yes, one of you guys can just get the list of persons. Okay, we're all going down to Joyst right now, so I'm gonna come. Yeah, so the person who brings them, anybody who brings them, yes, they'll get their $500 off each person.
Wonderful.
Hey, that's nice.
Sounds like a very great experience, honestly. Hope I can
It
experience.
is. It is. And it really takes someone who is open, you're willing, you're going to be in a new environment. So if you're open to the experiences, and some of them, will be good and some of them will be bad. But we have been taught by very strong parents to adjust in every situation. And food and music seem and a calm demeanor seem to work in overcoming a lot of obstacles. So, as we will impart information to you from personal experiences, because I went on the program a long time ago, and when I went there, I mean, it was amazing. And I decided from that time, every Jamaican university or college students really need to take the opportunity and experience it at least once. And so it is, you get a chance to earn, but you most importantly, you see people from all over the globe and you remain friends with them. They get to know who we are as Jamaican and not just what they see on the news. That's always bad. People, you'd be surprised to realize that people think all Jamaicans smoke weed, and we live in huts. So when you go and they see someone who speaks perfect English, they're like, so are you from Jamaica? Yes, but you don't look normal. You don't speak normal. It's like, huh? So it's worth going. It's really awesome. My team members, quite a few of them have gone on the program. I sent my daughter on the program, and she's the one who's setting up all of this, my social media thing. And I remember in one experience, my daughter would call me every day, 2, 3, 4 times for the day. She's in the supermarket, and she's like, "Mommy, I have $20, and I need to buy some food, and I have to make it stretch." And I see my daughter looking at the prices of things. So it teaches you how to manage the little money that you have, make it stretch. Um, it teaches you time management, because when you're on the program, you can't be late and you can't call the employer and tell them, "Boy, I'm just a wake up." It's like, no, 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 no. If you go 3 times, you don't have another job. So there's a lot of lessons that you learn as an individual, and the money is just icing on the top. You earn to take care of yourself whilst you're there. So it's a great experience.
Impacts you in so many ways, I understand. And from studying communication arts and technology, as a creative, it really impacts how you look at the world and how you create
Absolutely.
things later on.
Absolutely. So as a creative, I would expect to see a nice video or some nice stories about your experience when you return. Okay, ma'am?
That's true. Okay.
Okay, see, you say yes to the whole world, you know. So I'm looking forward to it.
Definitely. It will be a documentary.
Wonderful.
Joyce, my experience on Joyce. Forget.
Hey,
There you go. I'm liking the title already.
I
Pictures
can
and
be an
all.
ambassador, you know.
Pardon?
I can be an ambassador.
Look, honey, that's what we want. Ambassador for Joyce and ambassadors for Jamaica. We don't, you know, cover everything, look at everything and how it builds you as an individual. And then we need more of that. We need more, you know, strong Jamaicans, young people who will know that, listen, life is challenging, but they are ready to meet it. And Jamaica will come from a yard, we come from. And we can do anything.
Anything at all.
Yes.
So any more questions, guys?
I guess we have all the questions. 500 off US or Jamaican. Okay, so the Bring a Friend Tuesday is Jamaican dollars. The registration fee is $65, so you get $500 off. Jamaican dollars. All right. So I guess everybody understood. I spoke clearly because everybody, I'm not getting any more questions.
Completely understand, and we look forward to working with you with it next summer.
Okay, fantastic. But we start this year for next summer.
This year for next summer, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So look out for all the FMA members showing up for their discount.
Not a problem. We welcome you. Come on up. Just remember when you're coming to put in the registration form online, Utech Fma, so we know who we are dealing with.
I
All
hope.
right.
Okay. Go ahead, Relisha.
okay. All right, Miss Hutchinson, we really, really, really have to say a big thanks to you for actually being here with us and to share the information with you. I hope you accept our token of appreciation. You hope.
Absolutely. I need that. Okay, so you need to send it to me so I can
Yes, I
print it
will.
off and put it in the office.
Yes, definitely will. So we'd like to say thanks again, and we definitely appreciate you coming out and talking to our members, giving them the opportunity to at least know that there's more than outside of just Jamaica. You understand? So
Absolutely.
really appreciate it, and I'll be emailing this to you guys. So thanks again, and we will keep in touch.
Thank you very much for having me, and I really look forward to working with you guys. And see you, Miss Shania. Shania.
Bye, Miss Hutchinson.
All right, Rochelle. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.
I'm here, guys. I'm here. All right. So let me know if you're seeing the screen.
No, not yet.
Hold on. Are you guys seeing the screen now?
Yes, it's loading. There we go.
It's there?
Yeah.
All right, guys, so we are on to our second guest speaker. And don't let the guest speaker fool you. He is no stranger to us. He actually is still a member, but we still have to show him appreciation. So yes, he's our second. Tavoy Barrett is our second guest speaker for today. So Tavoy is currently a youth parliamentarian and a past president of the Future Marketers Association who lives by the simple philosophy, like it's the last. This statement has been his driving force for the past few years and has been one of the major factors attributing to his extracurricular involvements. Tavoy has served on the business admin exec, the Donald Farquhar Hall exec, and university and colleges ambassadors, UCA Jamaica, and of course, the president of the Future Marketers Association. Tavoy is a digital enthusiast who loves all things marketing. This enthusiasm was catapulted by an internship with SIROM Limited that was awarded through FMA. And since 2019, he has never looked back. Tavoy currently works as a freelance digital strategist, conceptualizing and executing digital ad campaigns for brands, and also a creative career advisor at the I Create Institute, all while being a student. Tavoy is still a student of life, learning and growing. His bio is still being written, but at this present moment in time, this is Tavoy Barrett. Over to you, Tavoy.
You guys hearing me?
Yeah, when we hear you.
All right.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're
we
here.
So as Marisol rightfully said, the guest in the speaker is somewhat a little bit. You have to wonder if it really necessary. Still very much a member of FMA, so I really don't consider myself a guest. It's more like being home, talking with the family. So that's how I see it. So what I want to talk about is my overall or my involvement so far at university and making the most of the experience. Before I do that though, I just want to preface this conversation with a quick story of an experience I had in high school. And this story is one that I remember every time when I'm in a situation, and it comes back to humility and being humble. So when I was in high school and graduating fifth form, um, just a little bit of backstory though, to the backstory. So in high school, I was pretty much very involved as I am now. Did pretty well in clubs, and I was a student leader at the time as well. So at graduation, I was asked to do the farewell speech at our valedictory service, and that would have been technically the VAL service is like a pre-graduation service, and this graduation or this service would have been for us to like be together for one last time, because at my high school you wouldn't graduate unless you have 5 subjects, ones and twos. So this was like the pre-graduation service. So I was preparing that speech, and one of my favorite teacher to this day, she was the person who was guiding me with that speech. And of course, I would have started the speech by saying, "Hi, my name is Tavoy Barrett, and I am a part of this club, and I won this award, and I won that award, and I do this and that in my spare time or whatever." And when I got back the first draft from her, she literally, that was like the most red lines I've seen in a while. She literally marked out all of it, and she said, "You're not going to start like that." And to this day, every time I think about it, it really determines a lot of my action. I mean, if you go on my Instagram right now, I do so much extracurricular wise, but if you go on my Instagram, by my bio, you wouldn't be able to tell. If you check on Twitter by my bio, you wouldn't be able to tell. And LinkedIn is like the only place you could really tell what I do with my life, because that's what LinkedIn is for. But she looked at me and she said, "You don't want to ever come off as being proud, or you don't want to ever come off as trying to be, like you're trying to sell yourself too much." And her thing was that it's better to tell the experience of what you've been through in these positions, talk about how they have made you the person you are, talk about what you have learned from the experiences, and that's how you incorporate the positions into your introduction. So even though I don't enter a building or enter a space and say, hi, I'm Tavoy Barrett and I'm a youth parliamentarian. I mean, if you're not close to me, separate and apart from this article recently, you wouldn't have known that I'm a youth parliamentarian. It's not that I don't want people to know, but it's just that ever since that conversation, it really kind of leveled me up and showed me, say, yo, you have to build sometime. But so just to move on a bit now, I want to talk real quick about my internship experience with SRAM. And that was my first entry into marketing. Starting university, I would have known about FMA from sixth form. And me and my friends say, all right, guys, this is the club we're going to join. Big up Conrad if I'm up on the call right now, up on the stream right now. Conrad, Robert, Isel, Ray, all of us decided that, all right, FMA the thing there. So went to FMA. I mean, I'm already a very participating person, so I've participated a lot while being a member. And one day there was a specific presentation on digital marketing done by SRAM. Now, starting Utech, I never had a clue what I wanted to do in business. I just know that I was going to do business because that's what I got the best grades in at CSET. So that's what me at the college to do. So I was very much unaware as to what area I would have focused on. Every time somebody asks, oh, so what are you going to be focusing on in business? I always kind of ignore the question because I just didn't know. But I was always open to whatever the idea or whatever concepts would have come my way during my time. So in that it was actually the ending of first semester. They did a presentation on digital marketing, and from then I was really hooked because I was like, yeah, this sounds good. So I applied for the internship, got through for the internship, did the interview and everything, got through. And I stayed with them for about 6 months, 6 to 8 months. And I would have ended that internship because at that time I would have became president of FMA. Everything I know in marketing was from that internship. Everything I do know was shaped by that internship and was shaped by my willingness to learn more. And a few of the points I want to leave with you guys today. I mean, I'm still pretty young in life, so there are a lot of things I don't know all about, but there are a few things I do know quite a bit about based on my experiences. So when running think of your life or think of yourself as a campaign, and there are 3 important metrics that you have to measure or you have to take into consideration. So you want to think about awareness, and if you see me looking away because I'm looking at my notes, you have to think about awareness, impressions, and engagement. Now, these are 3 of the metrics that digital marketers would use a lot. Impression would be considered as the unique or the amount of times your post or campaign will be seen by someone. Awareness refers to the overall level that you would have increased the knowledge or person's knowledge about the product or service that you are pushing. And the engagement refers to the likes, comments, shares that your campaign or post would amass. So to the awareness, you have to, as an individual in this space right now, to make the most of the opportunity or to make the most of the experience, especially university, you have to find something that you love, something that you really love, or something that you have an interest in, and grow your awareness in that area. And understand that sometimes that can be really hard, like zoning on that one thing. It can be difficult at times, but you have to use the things that you have next to you to your advantage. So FMA is a perfect example. Sign up to be a part of the exec. You might never know how much might be the one thing that really inspires the passion in you. And I'm a testament to that. I never know I liked marketing until I joined FMA, and I only joined FMA because they just look like it full of vibe. I never know what would have been the next step, and I think that's the next thing too. You have to just live sometime. And my philosophy, I don't even know if I should call it a philosophy, but the one-liner that I live by, like it's the last, is really just a statement that always encourages me. So you never know when it's going to be a last opportunity. So just take it and jump. You never know when you're going to not get the chance again to sign up to be a part of FMA exec. So just take it and run with it. You never know when you get for not be at a next FMA meeting, or you never know when an FMA meeting might be the one meeting that might lead you to a job opportunity. So whatever the situation may be, and for everybody here, I would love if you guys could take on that mentality, the like it's the last mentality, because it really helps to push you a lot. But at the same time, you have to be ensuring that you kind of gauge yourself, because you don't want to go too hard, or you don't want to get burnout over time. And I think sometimes I'm guilty of that, but I can share with you guys and say you have to pace yourself. So find out one thing that you know, find out one thing that you have an interest in and build your awareness on it. That one thing might be the one driving force that will really influence everything you do for the rest of your life. Impressions. You have to, and I don't mean that you need to be fake, but at the same time, you have to ensure that you keep a good relationship with people, because you never know when you might want that one relationship to blossom or to kick off something else. I mean, SRAM and FMA already had a pretty good relationship, but because of my internship there, I would have been able to, like literally just have the boss an email away. So I can always just reach out to him and say, hey, sir, we're having this project and I need your help. And a lot of the persons I know right now is because of the relationship that we have, or the impression that I would have left on them. And as I say, you don't need to be fake. Just be yourself. Sometimes you have to be a little more or a little less than yourself. But we have to just keep the link. Jamaicans love to sell links from Jamaica, but I don't think there's anything, or I personally don't see or think links are a negative thing. What I think is a negative thing is corruption, which sometimes can be connected to links, but really and truly, you have to build a strong network, and that will depend heavily on your impressions. So try as much as possible to, you don't want people hating you, or you don't want people to have a bad impression or a bad idea of you. As I say, first impressions last. Also, engagement. Engagement kind of ties back to the impression, but engagement also has to do with the friends and the people that you have around you. So the people who are closest to you, you have to keep those people, or your support system. You have to know who that support system is. Keep them close to you, especially in times when you need them. I have to say that FMA really helped to nurture some of my support systems. Big up Tremaine if she's in this session right now. And then I have to big up people who I know from before. And I'm just trying to show how the engagement would help to really build or shape your perspective on things. When I was, at the time when we had the opportunity to sign up for execs in first year, I would have said to myself, oh, I'm going to just apply for social media or PR. But I didn't do the application because I was still thinking about it. And this was how I took on that, like it's the last mentality. Because I waited until the very last minute to apply for a position for FMA. But before applying, the president then, Jamila, reached out and she was like, hey, what you doing? You know, apply for president. So I literally looked on her and laughed, because I said, huh? Bear in mind that at this point, I'm still in first year, and this is a thing that is open to, or this is a position open to third year students, and I'm not trying to jump the gun. So I'm saying, all right, no worries. I'm applying for PR or social media. When I tell my friends, all of them, Canada was like, yo, where the dog? Why you not apply for it? So it really shows how having people like that in your corner is very important. So, and he would have really pushed me and say, yo, you need to apply. So I just take a jump and I applied, and the rest is literally history, or history in the making. I mean, I'm still pretty young. But it just goes to show how and I hope everybody kind of connecting the dots between all three elements. So the awareness, the impressions, and the engagement. Keep your friends or keep your circle close. I mean, yes, it's good to have a wide network or a wide pool of friends or colleagues, because that really helps when you need a one person to do something for you. In my friend group, I'm the person with the links to almost or anything you can think of. And that's because I would have been able to like create for myself my little own network. I mean, there are a lot of persons in Jamaica I don't know. Well, not Jamaica, but in the space that I don't know. But there are still a few persons or a few solid persons that I know. If I can't get to somebody, I can reach out and say, hey, you can do this for me, or you can get me to somebody from here. And that's very important because you never know when you might need it. And the funny thing is, like, like it's always in the weirdest of ways that these situations come up when you need to find somebody who might work at one of the offices. And using school as an example, you might never know, you might want somebody who on the union to do something for you, or somebody who work in an office to do something for you. And then it's the same situation when you're outside of school and in the job space. So it's very much important to kind of cultivate a decent or a strong network of colleagues. Don't have to be friends, but at least a decent network of colleagues. And I mean, as a plus, you guys already have me as part of that network, so you can consider that as a start. So it's just that need to keep that building going and keep moving forward. One of the biggest things that I have to touch on as well. I mean, it would be a shame if I came on and didn't speak any at all about this. And I also have a few giveaways as well. Of course, being the president, I would have known how important giveaways are a part of or to the FMA culture. But one of the big things that you have to be forward thinking. So you have to be always keeping your mind one step ahead. That may mean that you have to read more. It may mean that you have to pay attention more to the news in your space. I mean, if you're in whatever faculty or whatever area that you are interested in working or interested in being a part of, it's really important that you try to be forward thinking and keep your skill set matching up with that space as well. As Marisol would have touched on earlier, I am a creative career advisor at iCreate. As part of my role in this position is I am one of the touch points between students and the institute at iCreate. So what happens is that my job is really to ensure that persons are signing up for the right course, persons are being placed accordingly to the based on whatever area they work in or whatever area they are interested in. Now, I don't need to even paint an illustrious picture about this, but it's very evident how digital is taking over the world right now. And from the simplest of forms, you can see it. Right now, we're on a YouTube call, from a YouTube session for meeting. Who would have thought that a year ago this would have been the reason why, or a pandemic, a global pandemic would have been the reason why we can't be in the same space together. And situations like these are things that people have been preaching about for a while now, and been talking about. So I would encourage all you guys right now to really assess where you are, assess your career choice, and see how you can incorporate digital into that. I guarantee you that no matter what area or what field you are in, you can make digital work there. And as a matter of fact, if you can't make it work there, you can make it work in your own way. I mean, there's nothing ever wrong with securing an extra bag or having a hustle on the side. One of the major course options at iCreate is our Digital Marketing Associate. This course would have been specifically geared towards college students or persons who would have been at the sixth form level and looking to really get their feet wet in marketing. Definitely go on the website, check it out. Also, if there are persons who are interested in doing marketing but you're still not so sure, we have a Introduction to Digital Marketing course that I'm willing to add a few persons to for free. That I guess the rest of the team here can help me to decide how we give that away. Also, we have a new course coming out in coding and cybersecurity, software development and cybersecurity. So for persons here as well who are interested in that space or looking to get into that space, and the truth is, just like digital marketing, coding will also become, and software development will also become a part of that future thinking or futuristic career option, one that you can always rock back on as a second job or as a side hustle, so to speak, because it can be incorporated into anything. If you're a doctor and you need a website, coding. If you are what's a career? What do you want to be, Relisha?
I want to be a PR strategist.
Relisha wants to be a
So
PR strategist. Her client wants a website. You know who get that money there? Relisha. So you really see how it can be connected to literally all things and everything. So you guys can help me decide who gets access to those courses as well, which are also fully online. But just to reiterate though, remember the three important metrics that we have to measure in life, or that I think we have to measure in life, are our awareness, our impressions, and engagement. Try as much as possible to curate or cultivate a network, a strong network, with at least a few solid pillars in it. I can publicly and proudly say that FMA or is the reason why a lot of the people in my network, I have them there because they were speakers at FMA. And I mean, it's harder now to reach out to speakers because it's virtual. But, you know, after FMA would finish, I would just reach out to them and I'm like, hey, everything all right? Well, in a similar sense, you know, want to keep in touch with that school. As much as possible, I would have tried to reach out online as well. And that worked. One of the things I learned while being president, and I learned this very early too, was that persons or professionals are always willing to share with young persons as long as they have the time. And sometimes, as long as you approach them the right way as well, they're always willing to share. I see Sidonie asking what's the website. So the website is icreateedu.com. icreateedu.com. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. I know Relisha and the rest of the gang might ask me some questions along with everybody else on the session. But if you take nothing from this session, just take this one thing. Live like it's the last. Take every chance like it's the last. Wake up every morning and do what you love like it's the last. Interact with people like it's the last because you never know when it might actually be the last. But yeah.
All right, thank you for that, Tavoy. Question for you. How are you able to balance between school, your personal life, and your involvement / your career? But why are you laughing? I want to hear this.
So I can't tell a lie. I mean, this is one of the things that I'm still learning to do. I'm still learning to master the art of balance. Matter of fact, I don't think it's something that anybody can ever truly learn, but I'm still trying. I really am. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to knowing your strengths and understanding what you're able to do. So I know that, let me find an example. So in the same time while I was president, at that time I would have applied to become a youth parliamentarian. And if at that time both roles would have coincided, then I would have understand that, hey, youth parliament focuses more on research and policy development and community involvement, while FMA focuses, or my role in FMA would be a part of to manage the overall operations of the club and ensure that everything is going smoothly. So from that standpoint, I would understand, say, all right, cool, this can work because it's not really, both of them is not really high task intensive, or both of them don't have the same level of workload. So understanding the workload is really important. For me, I don't recommend anybody to do this, but for me, university is more about the experience, but the academics is also important. But a lot of times I normally choose to cut from the academics before anything else. And that's also because I've been working while being a student. So it's always, for me, it's always in my best interest to lighten my school load just to kind of keep the GPA alive. So I've never done more than 5 courses since being a student at Utech, always 3 or 4, because I cannot afford to, I don't like failing, and seeing an F is what that is. So I can't afford to say a F on that course at all. So yeah, I'm still learning how to balance life, but I kind of be very strategic about what I do. And the thing about balance too is that you can't be afraid to let go sometimes, especially when your mental health comes into play, or when your sanity comes into play. A lot of person wouldn't have known this, but recently I would have been a marketing officer for an organization. It's a regional youth organization, and basically the organization itself is about bringing youth together. It was mentally draining, on top of everything else that I do, and I had to just let go. I mean, it was one of the hardest things to send that email, but I knew that after I sent it, I would have been at a better place mentally, and even where time is. So I just had to do the dirt.
Right. I was just, as soon as you said that, I remember the whole idea of sometimes we are like afraid to say no to opportunities because we feel as if, all right, nothing
Yeah.
else is going to, come back to us, so to say. So you literally hit the nail on the head just now. Yeah.
I mean, when I was interning at SRM, and I loved that job. I really loved it. When I was interning at SRM, I had the opportunity of going full time, but that meant I would have been working full time at SRM and being president of FMA. So I had to just. This is the next situation again where I had to just let go because I know say something that I go fall off track. So yeah. And again, this go back to the whole matter of impressions. So you don't want to take the people in full-time work, and then now you can't pull your weight at work, or you can't pull your weight where FMA is concerned, or where your schoolwork is concerned. So something just have to give.
All right, so I know you kind of touched on this, but we want to know we want to know the challenges versus the benefits. So what are some major challenges that you encountered, and what are some benefits?
Challenges. Well, let's talk about the benefits first, and then I'll talk about the challenges afterwards. Well, one of the first challenge I can think of is, I mean, people know me for always being a social butterfly. I'm always pretty high energy. So whenever I see people around, I'm like, oh, go on and make very nice for a while, give them a couple jokes. I mean, I do make a few lame jokes, but yeah, laugh for a while. So one of my biggest challenge, and it's just that sometimes it's really hard for me to be low or have my little downtime because people just know me for being high energy. And it's not that I don't want to be sad or I don't want to be down for a while, but it's just that I have to kind of get myself together. And all of these roles or positions would require a certain level of emotional intelligence from me. So I have to kind of keep that going or keep that up for the most part. But if you have to feel sad, feel sad. If you have to take some time away, um, I learned that from FMA. I mean, some of my most anxious days last year was as a result of FMA, and like the anxiety would just kill me. I can't forget the very first meeting. That was really wild. I mean, big up to the team last year. Like seriously, enough thanks. And I mean, what they didn't realize is how much they helped me to grow. Because I would have been only 20 at the time. I don't want to consider my age as like as something I used to limit myself, but I would have been only 20 at the time. and everybody in the team would have been pretty either older than me or same age, and everybody coming together, really understanding me over time and me understanding them, and we kind of build that relationship. It was pretty well, and learning how to deal with everybody individually was also a big deal for me. So that's some of the benefits, and it's not just FMA, but it transcends into other areas as well. The benefits is really just the people. I tell you no lie, it's the people that I meet, like no joke. And everybody here have the same opportunity to connect and meet with those people as well. As I said, it's harder now, but you can really still make it work. One of the persons, and this is one of the meetings as well for me that was really, really life changing because of, not because of what the meeting was about, but because of who the presenter was. I'm not sure if anybody remember last year, Ian Bourne, one of the directors from I Love Soca, made a presentation at FMA on events and events in Jamaica. After that event, after that meeting, I would have spoken with him, and I would have messaged him online, and from then he would have really helped, especially in the early stages of moving into to being president. He would have really helped to shape my perspective on management of the team, and not only management but also management of the sponsors and reaching out to sponsors, how to engage with them, how to make the most of the money as well. So that was really, as I say, really one of the strong points or the highest points for me to this day. Very much considered one of my greatest mentors now. I reach out to him every now and again for situations I might need help with. Mr. Williams asking, how was the process of becoming a youth parliamentarian? So really and truly, it's so fun fact. I never got through the first time I applied to become a youth parliamentarian. I got through the second time. It's a pretty simple process, but it's also pretty much rigorous. Not really rigorous, but it will require you to do some work. It's just an application process that you will fill out. And the major or the high point of that application is that you are expected to explain what major youth issue you have a problem with, and what's a project that you would use to solve that youth issue. The issue that I had highlighted, and it's one that I would have really made my project around, is youth entrepreneurship. A lot of us as young people, we have businesses, but at the same time, we miss the mark on where the professional, putting all that together professionally is concerned. So we don't get the registration, we don't have the licensing down, that type of thing. So the project that I would have executed, I would have been the team lead on, was a business mentorship program for Surrey County. I mean, eventually it ended up being a local thing for all counties, but people came on board from different areas. And again, this would have showed how much the relationships comes over into literally anything you do. Because a lot of the persons would have reached out for help on this project would have been persons that I would have already had a relationship with. What I can say now, and this is one of the challenges as well, is because I don't do well with failing. So I tend to get down on certain situations. So I will be very hard on myself. So I will say, no man, this should have been better. I should have went harder. I should have done more. And in retrospect, you can see how all that, I mean, we all have those situations. And again, it goes back to having that solid group of support system who will be able to say, it's really important for you to be proud of yourself, and important for you to understand that there's so much we can do and no more. But yeah, so in essence, that's the process. It's an application that you fill out.
All right, so someone wants to know, how long is the coding course?
The coding course is actually 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks of intensive training though, and it will be not face to face, but it will have a trainer for this session. So it's not self-paced or self-taught. You will have a trainer for this session. And at the end of the session, you have an internationally recognized certification. What motivates you on a day-to-day basis? I mean, again, it's really just about um, waking up in the morning and being able to go after the things I set my mind on. But at the same time, it's also those persons who are really, who I consider really dear to my heart, the people who I can't let down, the people who have them hopes up about me, people who know, or people who see me all the while and say, yo, you know, say I gonna make it, dog. I can't afford to let them people let down. So it's those people. And I mean, I wouldn't want to say my motivation is external, but to an extent it is. But internally, it also comes from me just wanting to be better and me wanting to do better. But yeah.
All right, so I know that you mentioned that it's good that we create links and to build that relationship. But as it pertains to how you were able to grab all those opportunities, what is the secret behind it? How you did it?
The secret is impressions. A lot of these opportunities would have been because I am able to pull myself together and present whenever I need to. And I don't mean present as in make a presentation, but present as in present myself. A lot of these would have been because of that persons who are able to. I mean, my job now at iCreate, I was a student at iCreate before I actually started working there full time. So back in sixth form, I wanted, for the summer of sixth form, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And that was the summer before I started Utech. So I said, all right, cool, let me do this course. I saw it on Instagram and I was like, this look fun. So I signed up for the course, did the course. At the time, would have interacted with the CEO a few times at the company. And a few afterwards, I realized that there would have been an opening and I reached out. That wouldn't have been because I have a degree or because I have years of experience in what I do, but it was because of the impressions. And as I said now, it's not about you faking it, but it's about you being able to really present yourself whenever you need to. Have to say much respect for the opportunity as well. The team at iCreate now, I mean, it's a constantly learning situation. It always pushes me. It's a role that I have to know a lot about the creative and digital industry because persons tend to reach out and ask a lot of questions about that. So it forces me to be on the ball at all times. It forces me to be constantly learning. So it's a really great opportunity. So to answer the question, it's not just about, there's not really a secret, but the secret is the main key or the major key is to manage your impressions and your engagement properly.
So
All right,
Savoy,
so I had okay. Go ahead.
I understand taking on a lot of these roles require discipline,
Yeah.
a lot of discipline. So tell me how you get that done, Pat.
For me, I have a big thing about having fun. Um, Anything I do, I have to see myself being able to have fun and being able to do what I love, which is marketing. So I always go for the things that I know that I have an interest in. So that means automatically I am one step ahead in already excelling. So I wouldn't apply for a position that's like secretarial. I require a lot of writing and sitting down at a desk because I know I would never do good at that. So I have to set up myself to ensure that I'm already one step ahead by doing things I already love. So if you do something that you already love or something that you have an interest in, then that already puts you in a safe spot to do the work. And it doesn't mean that you don't want to try something new or you don't want to do an additional thing or you want to be outside of your comfort zone. But it's also about making sure that this is something that you love. When I started UTech, the idea was that I would have got an internship in different areas of business. before third year so that I could figure out what I wanted to major in. So my plan was to do a internship in marketing, an internship in HR, an internship in finance, accounts, and all of them as much as possible. But it just stopped at marketing because I guess I got the I got the right pick on the first go. But it's just about ensuring that you set yourself up for being one step ahead by doing things that you're already interested in or love. So Abigail asking, how do you shell an interview? So believe it or not, before I go on a stage, go in front of a crowd, sit in front of people, I still get very much nervous. But at the end of the day, believe it or not, so every week before FMA, I remember the first FMA, well, separate and apart from the sponsorship meetings and the presentations would have to do with the sponsors. I remember vividly right before the orientation session, we had to introduce the club. Right before I go on stage, man, I said, Jano, I feel shaky. But then it's about managing the impressions because you can't make them see a move shaky in the streets. You have to ensure that you're always on your P's and Q's. But shelling an interview, the first thing is that you have to know what you're talking about. You have to, if it's yourself, if it's you're talking about, you have to at least prepare. And if it's about a specific area, a specific project, try as much as possible. I promise you, once you know what you're talking about, that already put you in the clear for doing well in the interview. The next thing now would be for you to really manage the emotions and try not to let the nerves show. And this is where the hard part comes in. I can't say there is a secret or a key to managing the emotions, but just know what you're going after and know what you want. I mean, if it's a scholarship interview, remember say at the end of this interview, may I get $1 million pay for my school fee. If it's a job interview, remember say at the end of this interview, may I get $150,000 every month. So just bear in mind all of them, the end goal that you're going after.
And to be honest, boy, if you didn't say half of these things, honestly, because when you mentioned orientation, I was like, who? Orientation? What information on the whole place? I'm like, you sure?
Every time, I mean, I watched a video the other day of us at the ASU leadership training, and FMA, the team from FMA went up and we were doing the national dance, And watching the video, I remember how much the nerves just like grabbed me and I said, Jano. But again, it's about living like it's the last because you never know. I mean, I'm not no big dancer, but I can do one thing. But you have to ensure that you manage the impressions. People see me now and think, oh, he's the one that is always willing to participate, and I'm always willing to. Really and truly, it's not that I want to, but it's just that I just feel okay doing it.
All right, and the final question, and personally, me really and truly want to know. So me have to ask this. Me can't leave and don't ask this. So you've been you have experience in internship. So I want to know some tips that you will give to persons like myself who want to start doing internship but not sure how to, Yeah.
So firstly, let me talk about the applying stage first and then the being there stage. So for the applying stage, find the one company that you love or the one company that you think does really great work and try as much as possible to keep in touch with that company. Know what the company is doing. It's not stalking, but you can also follow the company's CEO and a few people from the company's team as well. Knowing what they are up to and having an outsider's view of what the workplace culture is like will really do you well. Also, I mean, if you engage and you send a few comments every now and again, you retweet a few tweets every now and again, they will remember you. Chances are they will remember you. Especially if you do it directly to the boss or to the CEO, they will really remember you, and already that's a standout point for you as well. Again, you go back to being prepared and trying to understand the space that you're going in. So if it's a marketing interview, ensure that you know something about marketing. One of the major points or the major things that got me that extra internship was because of the courses I did at iCreate. When I went for the interview, the manager said to me, I said that you did here a course in project management. That would be really good. We really would love to have that on our team. So try to have something that sets you apart. And a lot of times that might just very well mean a course or a certification in a specific area. Also, and I never believed this until that first internship, be very careful or take very good care of your social presence. Back in sixth form, I used to always just think, say, oh, this is a thing people just say. When I went to that internship, I remember very clearly, she took up the phone and she said, what's your Instagram? And I said, Janu, no, I mean, I don't post things outside of the norm. I still don't. But that interview really made me realize how serious. And I mean, that was first year. That was my first time applying for a job, so I never got to experience it until then. And believe it or not, she slid down right in front of me and looked through my Instagram. Slid down right in front of me and check what I go on from my Twitter. And that was like really eye-opening. And I was a bit nervous coming and say, wonder what I can see now. Um, but but take very good care of your social presence. And I mean, if you're applying for a marketing job, you have to at least have a decent professional outlook. And that don't mean that you're going to only post suit and tie on your Instagram, because at the end of the day, we also have lives. We also go out very often. We also go to the beach. But just try to be as on the safe side as possible. And it also depends on what area you're working in, because you know that if you're a lawyer, you can't post the booty pictures from the beach on your social media. And again, it's not for everybody will have different perceptions of this, but that's just how I see it. And again, links will have a lot to do with this too, because Relisha can be a lawyer and she can post her pictures online, but because she have a link with whoever, she can get a job same way, because she not really do an interview and go through a vetting process. So you have to be really careful about that. When you get to the internship now, two very important things. Firstly, ensure that you learn as much as you can. Going into that internship, my job was just to be a digital media intern. So my job would include social media management, campaign development, campaign execution, and assisting with these things. So it's not like I had to take it on full time, but at the same time, over time, I realized how much it was really cool and how much I liked it. So I tried to be more involved than I needed to. At one point, I started learning how to use Photoshop, started learning how to use Premiere. And I mean, even now, I think if you ask anybody at SRAM about Tavoy, or anybody from the digital team at SRAM about Tavoy, they might tell you about the day when the first day I tried learning how to use Premiere Pro, and my get up, it was like at about 3 o'clock, and work ends at 5. But at 3 o'clock, them did I try show me how to set up a video and how to edit the video. But at 3 o'clock, I get up and I go home because I was so stressed out. But I never stopped, and I don't know how to use Premiere Pro professionally or like from a professional level, but I have the basic understanding, and that's enough. That's enough for me. So I can give somebody guidance and say, hey, you know, so you need to do this different, or change this transition or whatever. And it's the same thing for Photoshop as well. I might can't go into Photoshop and do a design really well, but I can give somebody guidance and tell them what to do or what not to do and that type of thing. So it's very important to learn as much as you can. And especially in a space like SRAM, it would be a shame if I go there and just do what I was told to do. Like, it would have really been a shame. And because you're an intern, I think it gives you more opportunity or more room to do additional things. So you're not just tied to one job description. You can walk from a desk and go to a next desk and say, hey, show me how this work, or show me how to do this. And it was the same thing for photography as well. I can't professionally take a picture now, but because of that internship, I'm able to know, give somebody guidance, or I'm now able to tell persons about different types of cameras and that type of thing because of that internship. So it's really important to learn as much as you can. And again, try to build the connection with the people at this space or this new workspace. Truth is, the first few days going to be weird as hell. I can't forget my first day at SRM. I wanted to pee so bad, but me sit down at the one little corner and I never get up and everybody park by me and I said, you know, everything good. Because it was really weird. I mean, digital marketing in general is normally very much a cool and relaxed space. It tends to be a lot of young persons as well. So it's really easy, or it was easier for me at that time to connect with everybody else in the office. But the first few days was really rough. But after that, it was really, really smooth sailing from there. But yeah, so learn as much as you can and also try as much as possible to build a good relationship with the persons in the company. And before the internship, try to know about the company, try to know about the space you're going in, try to have an advantage applying into that job. And that advantage sometimes might mean that you're going to have a certification in an area, or you're going to be extremely knowledgeable about an area. But whatever that advantage is, you have to find it and you have to make it the talking point about your internship. And I just want to go back to the question about the interview real quick. I do this a lot, and I'm not sure if people realize, but sometimes when persons ask me a question, I will kind of I will steer the conversation where I want it to go. So if you ask something that I'm not so clear about, I will answer to the best of my knowledge, but I will also start talking about something else that I'm very knowledgeable about that I can connect back to your question that you asked. So it's really important for you to grab the handle of the conversation and steer it wherever you want it to go, wherever you know you are knowledgeable. So yeah, that's pretty much it from my perspective.
Oh, thanks. That was really helpful. And I don't know about the members or anybody else, but I am definitely taking note of what you said because it's really helpful. And thank you so very much for accepting our invitation. And Shanoy Smith will further express our gratitude.
Hey, Shanoy.
Hi, Savoy.
Oh, just before you go on, though, I have to say, you see, I just want to go back a little bit. You see, with those engagement, you have to ensure that you also try to create a space for those persons to grow as well. So people in your space, don't be afraid for push them. Don't be afraid to seek opportunities for them. Don't be afraid to share with them things that you know. Because at the end of the day, that's your support system. And the stronger your support system is, the stronger you are, the stronger you can be. So it's very important not to be selfish. As much as possible, I try not to be. Well, I'm not selfish. I don't even have to say I try not to be. But I'm not selfish, so I have to because a lot of the things that I would have accomplished, a lot of the things that I would have gained would have been because persons were kind enough to share those with me, or kind enough to assist me along the way. So I have to just return the favor as well. And it's a constant cycle, so we have to keep it going as much as possible. So from your point of view, you have to ensure that your circle is strong, then that person going to strengthen somebody else's circle, and before you know it, everybody good. But yeah, don't be selfish.
Okay, thank you so much for coming on here, for speaking to your family, Savoy. You are an inspiration to many. Here is a certificate of our appreciation. Felicia will send it to you via email. But thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
You guys
we're
hear
hearing you. We're hearing you now.
Oh.
Alright, so I'll be emailing you this certificate because you can blow it up and thing and everything from the farm. Yeah.
I'm very much used to seeing my name in the other corner and not up at the top, but it's really it's pretty cool.
Yes.
All right. Bless up everybody. Stay safe. I mean, that's very important. Oh, we also need to do the giveaway. I'm not sure if you guys want to do that now or do it later. You can just indicate one thing.
Later.
All right, no problem, no problem. All right,
All
guys.
right.
It was really fun being here. See y'all next week. It's not very normal that I talk to a group of
Yeah.
people, see them again, but see you guys again soon.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. All right. So Robert, over to you.
All right. Oh, well, give me a minute. All right, guys, what's up? So basically, I'm here. I hope you guys are hearing me. I'm here to tell you guys about the online party that we're going to have, right? So, I don't know if all of you have seen on the page, but the name is Rosada, and yeah, here's a flyer. So basically, it's in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So, as you guys know, we're going to have, all right, it's going to be streamed on Mixler, right? But we're also going to have the Instagram live version going on where you guys can show yourself and all of that. And definitely, you guys know that giveaways are going to be going on. So, of course, they're going to have to say thanks to our sponsors, Connie Entertainment. Conrad, one of the past execs, is in he's here, so yeah, big up to Rude as well. They'll be supplying us with some shirts to give away. So yeah, guys, make sure you come out. It's going to be a really good vibe. It starts at 9. We have 3 DJs. We might have a special one, just so stay tuned. But yeah, guys, that's it. If you have any questions about it, you can let me know. But yeah, man. Oh yeah, guys. So Kashina is going to come. Kashina is going to come back to join the meeting. So yeah.
You guys hearing me? I mean,
Yeah, I hear
you
you.
guys hearing me?
Yeah, man, I hear you, man.
Okay. So Robert, guys, look out for the party. Anywho, it's 4:54, and we're going to. Thank you, Candice. Candice says she loved this meeting, and I learned so much. That's the aim, girl. That's the aim. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us this Thursday, and The meeting is officially adjourned. Bye.